Hey everyone, welcome back to the Data Science Journey. Today, we're diving into one of the first things you'll need to learn when coding in Python, data types. Understanding Python's data types is essential, especially if you're just starting out. We'll walk through each one so that you can see how they're used and why they're important. Let's get started. So what exactly are data types? In Python, data types define the kind of value a variable holds. Think of them like labels that help Python understand if you're working with numbers, text, or even collections of data. Choosing the right data type makes your code easier to work with and helps Python know how to handle your values efficiently. First up, let's look at integers. An integer, or int for short, represents whole numbers. These are numbers without any decimals. For example, x equals 5 or y equals -12. Integers are ideal for counting or working with things like age, population, or any value that doesn't need a decimal. Python automatically recognizes these as integers when you assign whole numbers to a variable. Next, we have floats. Floats are numbers with decimals, like 3.14, 0.5, or even -1.75. These numbers provide precision when we need it, like when working with money, measurements, or scientific calculations. For example, price equals 19.99, or height equals 5.75. In Python, any number with a decimal point is treated as a float, which allows us to perform calculations that require more detail. Now, let's talk about strings. Strings represent text and are enclosed in single or double quotes. For example, name equals Python or greeting equals hello world. You can think of a string as a sequence of characters, letters, numbers, and even symbols. Strings are essential for working with any kind of text data, like usernames, messages, or file names. Python treats anything within quotes as a string, making it super versatile for text handling. Next up is booleans, or bool for short. Booleans have only two values, true or false. Think of booleans as simple yes or no answers in your code. For example, is logged in equals true, or has permission equals false. Booleans are super useful when working with conditions or making decisions in code, like checking if a user has access to a page or if a product is in stock. Moving on from individual values, let's look at data collections. In Python, collections are data types that can store multiple values in a single variable. Two of the most commonly used collections are lists and dictionaries. A list is an ordered collection of items, which can be of any data type, and you can even mix different types in a single list. For example, my list equals 1, apple, 3.5, true. Lists are really handy when you need to store multiple values and access them individually by their position or index. In our example, mylist1 would give us apple. Then we have dictionaries, which store data as key value pairs. Think of a dictionary like a mini database. Each key is a unique identifier, and each key points to a value. For example, user equals name, Alice, 30, is active, true. Dictionaries are perfect for organizing data, where each item has a specific label or key. In our example, user name would return Alice. One more collection worth mentioning is the tuple. A tuple is similar to a list, but with one big difference: it's immutable. This means once you create a tuple, you can't change it. For example, dimensions equals 1920, 1080. Tuples are useful when you want to store a fixed set of values that shouldn't change, like screen dimensions or fixed configurations. So, to recap, we've covered integers for whole numbers, floats for decimals, strings for text, and booleans for true-false logic. We also looked at lists and dictionaries for handling collections, and tuples for when you need an unchangeable collection of values. Mastering these data types will give you a solid foundation for working in Python. Thanks for watching this episode of the Data Science Journey. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more Python tips and tutorials. Let me know in the comments what data type you want to learn more about. Until next time, happy coding.